I'm Isabel Gustafson, Senior Editor for Club & Resort Chef. I'm here today with Laura Herman, Pastry Chef for Shore Acres. Thanks for joining us today, Chef.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in clubs for about 15 years or so. Shore Acres is the 5th club that I've worked at. But other than that, mom of 3 and happy to be here today.
Tell us about Shore Acres.
Shore Acres is a very unique club. It's very small. We don't have that many members, but it's a very prestigious club in a fabulous location outside of Chicago. We're very busy for the Memorial Day to Labor Day season.
How many members is it?
Around 275
Okay.
full-time.
Okay. What are the dining outlets like there?
So we have our, lunch service. We do about 60 covers, not too much. And then we have a regular dining room plus, some banquet facilities. We only do about 2 weddings a year, about 8 golf outings, I believe. We do a lot of events during that prime time, but other than that, we're pretty quiet.
What do you like about it versus other clubs you've been at?
Shore Acres is a very special place because of the quality that they demand. It is more of a fine dining, dinner service and banquet style.
How does that impact pastry?
For me, it's great because I think I get to show a little bit more pride in what I do because they allow me to be more creative. It's not cake on a plate. They do order a lot of ice cream, but that's okay, but I make it, it's homemade. And so that kind of gives me the same feel of putting the time into a plate of dessert, but they're just super supportive there. It's awesome.
Are there any member favorites or anything that you love to make?
Oh, well, ice cream is my baby.
What flavors are you making?
I just made champurrado ice
wow.
cream, which is that like a more Mexican masa chocolate drink into an ice cream, which I've never done before. But we always have like vanilla bean, double chocolate, and cold brew coffee. Cold brew coffee is their favorite.
Where do you get inspiration for flavors like that?
Honestly, like when I just see Chef brought in this really awesome masa straight from Mexico, and it sat there and I didn't think anything of it. And then one day I got in a cocoa powder, a different brand than I've ever seen before. And I just kind of put the 2 and 2 together, and it's kind of how organic sometimes the flavor profiles work.
Are the members open to things like that?
Sometimes we do stuff, for ourselves to kind of gratify like being creative and just hope that they are responsive. But whenever I make something a little bit different, I usually put it on a buffet. Every Sunday we have buffets, and that helps get them to try something new. So that kind of helps. You
passed your CEPC exam?
Yeah.
Was it this past year?
Yeah, last January, February.
What was that process like?
COVID really messed me up. It took about 4 years to actually complete it because I couldn't test, or 3 years. I couldn't test for it. So by the time I started to finish, it was awesome because it took a long time to get there. But, it was actually from chef to chef when I was in Seattle, and everybody on stage was the CEC and kind of talked about like the processes. And I was like, for myself, I wanted to prove that I could accomplish that goal, and so it was pretty good that I did.
What did it feel like when you passed?
I was just pretty proud that I could actually do it, and I did it like I said, for myself. I just wanted to kind of put myself out there because you're very vulnerable because people know you're going to take the test, and that was probably the hardest. I didn't want to disappoint anybody, but when I was done, it was a really good feeling.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's going through that process now?
Yeah, I would, practice, like they always say, but also find a mentor to help you. And I was really lucky to kind of reach out to a network of people to help, because I think sometimes we think of it as like a competition and you want to show off like your skill set, but honestly, it's not. It's an exam, and you need to just prove that you're really great at classics, and it'll shine.